Well, you described it a little bit, and it is worse than one can say. There are a lot of people who were being killed, and a lot of people injured, and a lot of them maimed for good, so it's a very hard situation. And I don't know what's Israel's intention. I don't think they can return those refugees who went from their villages in the north in this way, because Israel was in Lebanon and had to run away in Lebanon. Of course, they stayed 22 years, but there were too many killings of Israelis there. So I don't think Israel would want to occupy South Lebanon again, because this time the resistance is stronger than it was in the past. So I really don't understand the Israelis, because if they want to get back their people to the north, those who were displaced to the north, to their villages and settlements, they have to negotiate. And they have to negotiate with the Lebanese government through mediators like the Americans as well. That's true. Till October 8th, it will be a year. So, yes, the Americans got involved, the French got involved, UN tries its best as well. But we depend on the Americans now to really take it. I mean, Mr. Amos Hochstein is, or I don't know if he still is in Israel, and I think he was supposed to come here if he has any message. It seems he doesn't have any message. He has been negotiating, he has been talking to people here and in Israel, but so far nothing came out. Look, Hezbollah is a resistance movement, and let's deal government to government. We are willing to talk to Hezbollah in the right time, and we communicate with them all the time. And I think if Israel wants peace, we are ready for peace, for a ceasefire. Not a peace treaty, but for a ceasefire on the border, and an agreement on what are the conditions for this ceasefire. Granted that 1701, which is the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701, is a very important resolution for us, and if we implement it for us and the Israelis, and we both said let's implement it, but Israel violates Lebanon, the sovereignty of Lebanon every day there is a violation. So I'm not defending Hezbollah, because yes, they are also retaliating. Escalation has been all the time Israelis, like what happened yesterday, what happened today is escalation. We cannot talk to Hezbollah anymore now in the way we were talking to them in the past, because they are, of course, they were hit very badly, and therefore retaliation is a must to them. We'll try to do something, but I don't know how much we have power to stop them. And why there is resistance in the south? Because there is Israeli occupation of land. We have warned about this for a long time, that this will end up with a regional war. And this is not in the interest of any side, any country in the region. We really want peace as a government, and we are really going to New York, to the Security Council. Friday afternoon, we'll have a meeting of Security Council. We want peace. I don't mean to say peace with Israel and have like a peace treaty. We want peace in the borders between us and Israel. And we want to go back to the truce line, which was approved by Israel and by Lebanon in 1949. So, we really want peace, and we're really working for peace, but we did not receive any good sign from the Israelis in this sense. Well, so far, of course, now Hezbollah for a few days or a week or so, they would be in trouble. It's not easy for them to receive such kind of a blow in 2 days. I don't know what's expected more, if there is anything else is expected tomorrow. I mean, they penetrated their intelligence, they penetrated their communication. There's no doubt they would be a little bit in disarray. But I think this is an organization that can come back quickly. That's what happened in 2006, and they can come back quickly. Also, Israel for a year almost has been, we're going to finish from Hamas. Yes, Hamas has been weakened, but it is still there. So, ideas, you cannot kill ideas by war. This is if you have an army against an army, one would win. But this case, it is not the case. It's not the same case as a war. You know, you have an idea. An idea does not die. On the contrary, there would be more people really rallying towards this idea. There's no doubt it's a scary moment, and we are afraid from coming to war because we don't want a war. There were skirmishes on the borders, sometimes escalated. Well, okay, accepted. But now you're talking about a war. It's an introduction to a war. That's why we're going to the Security Council, UN Security Council, to stop such kind of things. We are against war in Lebanon. The government of Lebanon does not want war and does not want even the skirmishes in the south of Lebanon. So we need the help of the United Nations. We need the help of the United States also in order to really re-establish some kind of peace in South Lebanon, and which is also happened to be North Israel as well. Well, I don't know, but the perception, which is a strong perception, that they did it. Even Americans are saying nobody could do it except the Israelis. And the Americans can put a lot of pressure on the Israelis. If United States is the only country that can stop the war. The United States supplies Israel with weapons, with ammunition, with money, whatever. And they can stop it. And this happened before. Kissinger stopped the war, and Bush also got Israelis to the peace conference in Madrid. So United States has the means to stop the war if it wants to stop the war.